What is going on? I'm Zedmod. We have got the old-fashioned gamey sounds, but we're going to turn those off, get the Christmas jingle rocking and rolling. Today's video, we are going to start out with an operation attack. We'll do 2 different warships. We will do some heavy Choppa madness. We're going to do basically all of the boom. Now, I got a free trader crate. We're going to pick that up as we scroll over. This video, of course, is brought to you by Code Zedmod in all Supercell sources, so thank you very much for those of you who remember to renew that every annoying 7 days. Now, I do not have the engraver on this account. I need to get some upgrades going. That's why I've been working on this little boom cannon back here, trying to get some XP so I can get this one up to headquarters level 27. Extra headquarters levels definitely making players touch their unused accounts. I hit operation attacks on this account all of the time. I don't so much boost, almost never boost. And if you're looking for a task force that does not require a boost, Delta 9 is a great place. We've got 2 spots, and this task force is doing massive attack daily. So come join, come play with me. We will have a bunch of fun together. There are some great players in this task force. A little bit casual, a little bit fun, good balance of the 2. Gonna spend those diamonds right there. I am gonna bring Dr. Kevin because he is the guy. Now, quick note that we do have Medic Mech Mania for all of you who are looking for some alliteration with the M action. Merry Medic Mania. We're going to jump in and attack Strategize because it's an easy strategize and it hasn't been touched yet. So left hand side, very few rockets. That rocket does not reach. So a solo is possible on this one. Not really plausible though because skill. Anyways, we're gonna drop a couple rifles there, and then once those rifles get going, we're just gonna drop all of our stuff on this right hand side. And honestly, Everspark might have been better on this one, but it's too late for that, so we're just gonna keep pushing forwards, clearing this entire right hand side. Don't need to worry about the shield gens on Strategize a lot of the time because it ends up being 3 attacks to get shield gens, maybe 4 attacks, and we don't got time for that. We're just going to keep pushing right. As soon as a couple of these cannons have been removed, we're going to do another flare, moving towards the right-hand side, and it's kind of crazy how so many task forces out there go for shield gens on every single base, even though there's more than enough damage in the game. And that kind of comes back to, I feel like those are the same players that choose Rainmakers over heavy Choppas, maybe? Do let me know in the comments if you guys voted for the Rainmakers, because every single comment I've gotten has been people saying, no, heavy Choppas are way better. So if you're one of the people, the majority, according to the vote, that like Rainmakers better, please do let me know, because Supercell wouldn't taint the vote, I don't think. So if you're one of those people who your task force, every single op goes for the shield gens, like, you know, on Rogue where you can just go up the middle, if your task force goes left and right, please do let me know, because there are so many different ways to play this game, and would just love to hear if Rainmakers were actually voted by you guys, because that to me is the conspiracy of the second, as I need to get a shock out because of mortars and things. Now, we are not progressing through this terribly quickly. Our riflemen are going down at a fairly rapid pace, unfortunately, and we now have no riflemen on that right-hand side, so probably would have been better to bring Everspark simply because of her passive critters and those boom cannons, if we could maybe hack one of them or something, but our Bombardiers are still standing in, doing some fantastic things on that right-hand side. We are going to get ended by those boom cannons, though, by the looks of things, so not a fantastic hit by me. I told you a solo was possible, but not probable. And now we're just gonna kind of stand in here as our Bombardiers keep chucking on things, just removing buildings one by one as we get our Bombardiers taken out one by one as well. Now, this is where those Santa Bombadiers, and if you haven't seen the Santa Bombadiers, do check out the cards somewhere. Where are the cards? The cards are somewhere up in that neighborhood, because the Santa Bombadiers are so much easier to see. They're not like brown against brown or like brownish green against grayish green. And honestly, that for me is one of the primary reasons I picked up the Boom Pass on my other account this season, because just trying to find my Bombardiers a lot of the time can be a little bit frustrating. I think they should give away a neon Bombardier for free just to make them more visible, these tiny little dudes, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. We are about to get rid of all of the oh, there we go. There goes that Bombardier, and now we just need to spend our GBE somewhat wisely. So we're going to throw a barrage over here to clear some of those mines, and we're going to throw a barrage over here just to fully open up that hole, and the next person can come in somewhere in this neighborhood and take out the core. Strategize will, for all intents and purposes, be down in 2, which it's always a good time when you can take Strategize down in 2. Have soloed it, not today though. It was not meant to be. The wrong hero, I think, set me up for failure on that one. My tech tree, on the other hand, has set me up for success. So this one, I went the top path. I think I was the only person in the game to make it all the way to the end of 8 engine rooms, going the top and not having those clone rifles. Was that a smart decision? No. But was it stubborn and dumb? Definitely. So I tend to play 2 tech trees. This one was the more frustrating of the 2, but now that I've gone back and gotten clone riflemen, and I've gone all the way to the end and gotten the Defib, and I've gotten all the way through the Doom Cannon to that extra troop damage, rocking out with 170% troop damage is a lot of fun. And Seekers and Defib is actually my go-to. So you see, I've gone, what is that, 8 and 2? I'll show you some of my faster times. 3 minutes 9, 3 minutes 10. That one, 2:46. That was luck. 3:02, 3:08, 3 minutes. Let's show you 3:08, and I'll show you what I've been doing. So, on this one, dropping the clones because they need to die, and the clones there are intentionally placed so that Rudy does not get shot in the face by the cannon or the sniper tower. There's still a chance of the boom cannon, but we'll live with that one. So we're going to send Rudy back for that engine room, back there, and our Seekers on both of the other sides. So getting rid of that one shock launcher with a shock, and then just cruising through all of the things with no concerns whatsoever. Just absolutely blasting through it. This person does not have shock mines, which makes it far easier. And then just dropping defib everywhere, trying to speed things up a little bit as Rudy does a backwards pull over that shock launcher, and then our Seekers just go. Now, there is a bug with Rudy, which has annoyed me a lot. If you flare an engine room with Rudy, for example, he does his bombing run on the engine room, and then he picks the next closest defense, even though a flare is active. That, to me, is a bug. I would love to hear if you guys feel otherwise. Let's go to the 3-9 versus Axim of Boom, I believe their name was. And same deal, they do have shock mines, and this is important bit. These guys need to die. There are no regular rifles in the tech tree, so if you use all Seekers and use Defib, you get Tick 1 rifles, which is a complete and utter waste of time. So we're getting those guys to die. They're keeping Rudy alive, and then sending those rifle dudes. Notice that they're clearing the mines, clearing the shock mines, going towards that flare, and then all of our Seekers doing all of the damage as Rudy is just crushing everything at the back. Rudy taking 2 engine rooms all on his own, and that is when things get very fun. When Rudy starts taking out 2 engine rooms and your Seekers can just stay to the front. And I know Seekers are not super popular. A lot of you hate them with an absolute passion, but just wanted to show you that with that defib, it works for all sorts of troops, and 170% troop damage is a lot of fun. Now, I know a lot of you are trying to decide whether you get the troop damage first or defib first. I obviously have both because I do not have a sky shield, I do not have mortars, missing lots of stuff, but I kind of like the fact that I rushed to the very end of the tree and now I can just backfill at my own leisure. And the exact opposite of taking things leisurely is these heavy Choppas with that beautiful, beautiful engraving that is Rally. Mine's at quality 5 of 8, trying to get it upwards and not getting it. Interference and Ordnance are two that I don't really care about. We will keep that going, though. I'm going to throw some red shards into the fire because red does have a better chance of getting Rally. And I'm just going to do 3. What the heck? No, I'm not going to do 3. We are going to cancel that. We're going to get our resources back. I'm going to do that one and then that one. As you can tell, 9,300 blues, so spending a little bit of extra blue doesn't really matter. Now, we are going to do Imitation Game, and this is going to be beyond silly. Just 3 times mode with bullet out front and all of this stuff and just going. And Rally shouldn't matter for phase 1 or stage 1, but we'll get going. We are going to do a speed run of all speed runs, just dropping all of the things, including bullet 3 times mode, and then just all GBE on the headquarters. And yes, you can be faster if you force quit, probably, but also, I probably could have been faster if I just straight up barraged all of the things, but what's the fun in that? We're going to go 3 times mode yet again, just heavy Choppa ridiculousness, and I'll show you how to check your time for a speedrun. If you beat me, please do let me know what your time is. Would love, love, love to see that. I have not done a speedrun challenge in a minute, but there's a lot of good stuff to be done with these heavy Choppas. And I know my video showing you how to do this with Rally talked about trying to make them die, and some of you were like, but Zed, I don't have instant training, I can't do that. Reminder, none of your troops are actually dying here. It's just the troops that have been dropped. Your heavy Choppas are staying alive. We are getting some Rally goodness, and I realized now that I still have that Christmas music popping, so we will get rid of that right about now. And let's get the proper game sounds back in as we cruise through all 6 stages. And this is where heavy Choppas, for me, they win every single time because we have lost a total of 0 troops so far and just absolutely burning through this. I think we almost lost a couple there, but actually we might have lost a couple. We lost 5 troops by being full on dumb. And if you check your log here, we can see we took a minute 42 to do all 7 stages of Imitation Game, and you can see that timer there on stage 7 counting upward. So let me know if you beat a minute 42 and if you lose fewer than 5 troops across it, because that can be very, very helpful. And as far as the Boom Pass goes, I know a whole bunch of you have probably gotten in the habit of destroying NPCs, but there's a lot of benefit that can be done by simply dropping your troops, and you end up getting a bunch of missions. I have gotten, what's that, 2, 3, 4 there? So, if you're one of those players who always destroys the NPCs, might be an idea to consider dropping troops on them instead, because there's all sorts of extra missions you can get, and those missions give you decent rewards. So consider attacking those NPCs. I know it can be a bit boring, and I tend to give up after a couple, but even if you do it once in a while, it will help you get through that Boom Pass a little bit quicker, and will get you to those rewards at the end of the tree. Even if you're doing the free, you don't have to do the premium. I know that that can be a bit of a sticking point, and all of a sudden we get, see how it says that was 11 minutes ago? That wasn't there a second ago. The faster you destroy NPCs, it seems like, I think that's a bug where it like retroactively gives you an extra spawn, but that is why as soon as you open Boom Beach, get rid of those NPCs, you get all sorts of extra benefits as a result, and I have not claimed my diamonds in a while. So anyways, onto my other tech tree. This is the primary tech tree I've been playing most often, and as you can see, we're at 23, but I have been losing a bunch. Big shout out to Falcor crushing me. 24, 25, 24, so getting some tough matches. This one does not have that troop damage I was talking about. Looking forward to getting the shock blaster and then some troop damage. This one does have the defib, and now I wouldn't recommend doing it in the order that I did, but as you can see here, I do not have Rudy, I do not have heavy Choppas. It is just clones and rocket Choppas, and clones and rocket Choppas, there's a bunch of stuff that causes some problems. So we shall see what this goes, and the reason why I got defib is because rocket Choppas are just so fragile, and I end up making all sorts of mistakes, and so by bringing out the defibs, I don't have to be so perfect, and so we're gonna go something like this, sending all of our rocket Choppas towards the back. Need to drop that about there just to keep those guys alive, and then as that starts to go down, we're going to throw some defibs over here, and then the rest of these guys over here, and that flare has now expired, so our troops should be safe, these guys should be safe, and just need to get some more defib over there, because that boom cannon is going to... Oh, that was so close. Anyways, you get the basic idea. We're going to throw all of our GBE towards this back sky shield. Clones are out front in all aspects of the game. We're going to get some clones on there, and I probably overuse clones. I fully admit that, but even just to get all of our troops to not die should dramatically speed up our hits. So getting onto that back engine room, need a shock on that. Oh, didn't actually need a shock, but we now have all of our troops getting onto all of the engine rooms, and just gonna throw all of the barrage as we get both engine rooms, and we end up with a time of 2 minutes 37 seconds. So not super quick. You probably need more than 240 to win most times, even 250, and we are gonna be very close, but I think we should pick up the win. So defib, I'm overusing it, but you notice that basically never using shocks anymore, because defib gives you clones, which do a bunch of damage, and don't have to worry about those turrets dying, because instead of having one turret, you end up with like 50 or 60 clones, because each clone, one turns into two, and I think two turns into three, and picking up the win in rank 23 and getting closer. I don't think we're quite at the shock blaster yet, as I need to scroll. We, of course, are one key short. It is always the way that at some point in the season, you will be one key short. So that moment is now. Good things in the tech tree, and there are still 9 days left. So if you're like Zed, I'm still at 5 engine rooms or 6 engine rooms. By the way, 7 engine rooms is the worst. Don't worry, there are still 9 days left. I am a bit of a tech monster, sitting there at rank 284 global. I've been on the global leaderboard, I think, like all season long. Little bit of luck, little bit of hitting the right push points, and a tiny bit of skill. Anyways, that is going to be it for me on the day. And I talked about those rewards. We do have a bunch. I do have the premium boom pass on this one. And the reason for that, of course, is these beautiful Santa Bombadiers, which are so much easier to see. And I was very happy to see that for the first time they've added, I think it's the first time, they've added a custom animation to those troops. And a bunch of you have said, Zed, I am unstoppable with heavy Choppas. I use 3 boats Bombardier. You know what? Let's speed that. Let's slow that down so you can actually see the candy canes coming out. Can't really. There they are. There are the beautiful candy canes. There are the red, very visible Bombardiers. I say very visible. Visible for Bombardiers anyways. So some of you are using 2 boats Bombardiers, some of you are using 3 boats of Bombardiers, some of you using Kavan, some using Everspark. There are lots of ways to do this. None the less. I am going to leave you there. Please keep that submarine diving. Keep booming those beaches. More alliteration. I am Zedmont. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of the YouTube-y things, but more importantly, commenting. Would love to hear if you beat my imitation game, if you're hate seekers, if you would take a blueprint over an attack plan. And I wish it would actually show you here how many of each you had, because I got to jump back out and we can see that I've got 7 blueprints and 2 attack plans. So that choice should be fairly obvious for me. Again, I'm going to give that feedback to the dev team. If you guys have any feedback about other features or issues or things you've observed, please do let me know. Happy to pass them along. The better you can phrase them, the better. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.